I shaved the beard off. A bit too close. I shaved the beard off in readiness for the NHS guidelines of shaving off beards. Well, they were going to ask us all to do it. Basically, this virus that's floating around can catch in hair, and it's right next to where you breathe in. So the best idea would be to get rid of it. I didn't like doing it. I didn't want to do it. I had to. 5 hours after doing that, I come down with this viral infection. Deep cough right down halfway through the chest, won't stop coughing all through the night. And I didn't sweat, I didn't get a temperature, but it wasn't very nice. The worst bit was coughing all through the night. That's the worst bit. That lasted about 5 days. About 2 days after that, all the things I bought in preparation for that, like a nebulizer inhaler and masks and stuff like that, they all arrived through the post. But by then, obviously, it was better. I stayed in for a few days after that. Make sure you do your 7 days. But hopefully, by the time you're watching this, the virus will have reached its peak, because viruses tend to peak around the beginning of May, through May, and then they peter off and become nothing. All except for hepatitis, which can hang around a bit longer. But all the other virus things, they will peter out. So hopefully this one will go and we can get back out on our bikes. So when they look at Boris Johnson and say anyone can get it, they're looking at the wrong people. They ought to look at people like yourselves who are interested in your health. People who do everything they can do to stop this sort of thing happening, and it still happens. That's when it can happen to anyone. So if it's all going to peter out, all the better. Of course, it would happen a lot quicker if everybody stayed in for 2 weeks. If everybody stayed in for 2 weeks, across the board, it would disappear, because it can only last a week. So it would be gone. But people don't see the logic in that. They get out on their bikes, go out and enjoy themselves, just because they're not working. Basically, the main problem with the coronavirus, as with just about anything else, is the body's reaction to it, which causes inflammation. Inflammation in the body is the #1 cause of most illnesses. Cancer, heart disease, all those sort of things, they all start with inflammation. What's the best way to get rid of inflammation? The easiest way, and the best way I found, is to eat a lot of curry. Hot peppers, great for killing off cancer cells, good for the heart. Cayenne is especially good for the heart. Turmeric, that's in most good curries. In fact, all of the spices in a curry really do fight inflammation. Even cinnamon is good for helping you to lose weight. It's incredible. Just get yourself a decent curry. I'm not saying it's going to cure everything, but it helps fight inflammation. Don't buy the ready-made stuff because it's got sugar in it, so you're fighting one thing with another. You're taking the sugar in and fighting it with everything else, because sugar causes inflammation. But if you make your own curry, you can make a satay, you can make anything. Get some jalapenos in there, some cayenne, and make it as hot as you like. Please yourself. I'm not saying that a good curry will fight off coronavirus. That would be a miracle, wouldn't it? But the spices do help to reduce inflammation in the body, and so that's going to help your body fight off coronavirus, because the body can do it. It can do. Best of luck. Actually, all disease comes with 3 elements that tend to have an effect on it. Inflammation is only one, then there's oxidative stress, and also an abnormal immune response, which is what happens a lot with this COVID thing. Now, in the old days, in the hospitals, door handles used to be made of brass, which was copper based, and they didn't get infections passed around so much. Now we've gone over to stainless steel, infections go around much easier. COVID-19 is is known to be able to stay on stainless steel for 9 hours. So get yourself a copper drinking vessel and follow the instructions. You'll be putting well-deserved copper into your system, and it may well help fight off any diseases like this. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've got over the coronavirus, but one thing that lingers is fatigue. I've just made up a set of baffles for a new exhaust pipe that I'm making, and I'm absolutely worn out. A couple of hours of cutting and grinding and welding and I'm just knackered. So with that in mind, let's talk about an exercise. An exercise that helps breathing. Well, it's a breathing exercise. Breathing is our #1 way of staying alive. First, breathe into your stomach, pushing your stomach out. Then fill the tops of your lungs in one smooth flow. 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. Quick question. What's the most important organ in the body? Some would say the tongue, because, after all, you are what you eat. Aren't you? Well, maybe. However, some of the things you eat can really upset you. When your reaction to your tongue is what controls your eating, that's when you can get yourself into trouble. But when you actually take control of your tongue and decide that on reflection what you need to eat is something that is good for you rather than something that tastes good, then you get the chance to heal yourself from the inside out. Then you are in control. Encourage your tongue to eat for your body instead of your body eating for your tongue. You can do this by repeating to yourself that you like the things that are good for you, and you don't like the things that are not good for you. Now, this video series is not really about making money for me. I won't make any money from this, that's guaranteed. I do explain ways to alter your mind to your benefit in my new book, which is about to come out, called Biker Psych. It might look something like this. It is about psychologically looking after yourself on your bike, but it also can be related to how you look after yourself. So you don't have to buy the book. I won't be making very much money out of it, that's for sure, because it's only a small book and I'd much rather people had the information than me retiring. Whatever you do, look after yourselves. We're not getting any younger, but we can get healthier. I've never been so chuffed about a loaf of bread. Would you look at that? Look at that! That is excellent. And there's no wheat, there's no flour of any kind, unless of course you count almond flour. But you could use, well, I'm going to try it with almond meal, which is just not as finely ground. But that is definitely worth putting the teeth in and finding some butter, which I'm going to do in about 5 minutes. If you are looking to change your lifestyle, maybe take on a different diet, you can try the ketogenic diet or a low carb diet. The ketogenic diet, which is what I've been trying for a few months, probably 6 months. This is a book that I didn't write, written by Kelly Herring, who doesn't look anything like me. And this is where I got the recipe for this, and that's the bread that I just showed you. I'm not doing a recipe this month because I've run out of time. So without further ado,